You know, green reading is a skill that takes some time and development. It's not automatic. We have to practice green reading, and the problem is most of us never practice green reading. We watch a video or learn a technique about how to read the greens, and then we go out on the golf course and try that during our rounds, but we don't ever work on our green reading during our warm-up or practice. Now, I know some of you think, oh, you try to read the greens in your warm-up, and you really don't. You throw down a ball and you go, I think it's going to break this much, and you kind of hit it at that. Nope, and you throw down a second ball and go, okay, a little bit more break than that. Nope, too much, and then you throw it out. That's not practicing reading the greens. That doesn't help you learn to read the greens. In fact, it's bad. Stop doing that and use this technique instead. This is a great technique for helping you get really better quickly at reading the greens. So here's what you do. You're going to need some rope about 20 feet, and don't get baling twine or string. Get an actual rope so that it's big enough to bend and curve to the hole. You can pick it up at your hardware store, or I'll put a link if you want to grab some off Amazon. But take a rope. I've got 20 feet of rope here, and what you do is you put down one ball on the practice green, and you look at it and you kind of make your read for that putt. Then you take the rope and you stretch it from the hole back to your ball, and you go along that line and you put the rope exactly where you think that ball is going to roll on that putt. Now that you got the line laid out with the rope, you take some tees. 2 tees near, 2 feet or so in front of your ball, one on either side of the rope. That's a starting line gate. And then you go 2 to 3 feet away from the hole and you put a second set of tees, one on either side of the rope. And you can make these a little further apart to give yourself some room to go through there, but that's a finish gate. Yes, that is coyotes howling in the background. And then you pull the rope out of the way, pile the rope up behind the hole, maybe this far or so behind the hole, and then you stroke the putt. The cool thing about this drill is it forces you to do several things. First, it forces you to see both the starting line and then also the curve, the actual break that the putt's going to roll on. And that's a big deal because studies show 65% of people only see the curved line naturally. They have to work and think about it to see the straight line. This drill forces that 65% of you to actually see the straight starting line in addition to seeing the curve of the putt. 35% of you only see in straight lines, and you have to work at it to see the cut, but the curve. This drill forces you to actually think about both the starting line and to see how your putt is going to roll and break up that line. And then the rope piled up this far or so behind the hole helps you actually think about, it forces you to think about the speed. I want to stroke the putt firm enough to get to that rope, but not past. And that's the right speed on most all of your putts. And it forces you to think about those, which is all part of your reading the green, and they're things that most of us don't get normally. So take one run at it, and if you make the putt between the first two gates, that's good. If it doesn't go in after that, it was because of your read. So if you miss the start line, you can do it over. Outside of that, pick up the rope and read another putt and try that. You'll find that it really helps. And here's the cool thing on this drill. If you've made the right read, you hit the ball on the start line, like this one here, and this is a tricky putt. It's an uphill and a downhill, going to curve a little bit to the right. But if you've made the right read and you hit the right start line and the right speed, the ball goes exactly where you had the rope laid out and into the hole. So try this out. One of the things that I discovered is after doing this drill several times, I go out on the golf course and I'm standing behind a putt making my read, and in my mind's eye I actually visualize and see, not intentionally, it just happens, I see the rope laying there and see the actual break and the start line, and it makes it much easier for me at least to visualize the ball going into the hole. And if you like making more putts and the ball and seeing the ball roll into the hole, then you ought to like on this video, make a comment, share it with your buddies, subscribe. And of course, if you really like making more putts, here's a couple of videos on the screen that you ought to check out. And here's to you making more putts.